This is a DGHradio.com news and information network Hurricane Melissa 6 p.m. update based on the National Hurricane Center advisory. We are tracking Hurricane Melissa, and folks, this is a powerful and life-threatening storm that has just made its way across land and is continuing its destructive path through the Caribbean. The situation right now is incredibly urgent for several nations. So, just how strong are we talking? Well, the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center clocks Melissa's maximum sustained winds at a whopping 145 miles per hour. That makes it a ferocious Category 4 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Let's dive into the storm's vitals, shall we? As of 5 p.m. Eastern, the center was located just about 15 miles east of Montego Bay, Jamaica, and it's moving north-northeast at 8 miles per hour. But look at that central pressure, 921 millibars. That is incredibly low. And, the lower the pressure, the stronger the storm. This is the engine of a powerful, very well-organized hurricane. Okay, so let's first focus on Jamaica, because they are really bearing the brunt of this storm as we speak. The eye has just moved off the coast of western Jamaica and is now back over open water. But please don't let that fool you. The danger is so far from over. For many, many people on the island, the worst part of this storm is actually just beginning. And the National Hurricane Center's message couldn't be more direct or more urgent. They're saying remain in a safe shelter tonight, because while those damaging winds are still happening, the biggest threat overnight is shifting from wind to water. And we are talking about just immense amounts of rainfall. The forecast is calling for 12 to 24 inches across the island, but in the mountains, isolated totals could reach a staggering 30 inches. That's a catastrophic amount of water that will absolutely trigger severe flash flooding and landslides. All right, so now let's look at that forecast path. Where is this extremely dangerous hurricane headed next? So the core of Melissa is moving away from Jamaica tonight, and it's setting its sights on southeastern Cuba as a major hurricane. By Wednesday, it's expected to be crossing the southeastern and central Bahamas. And it's not done yet. It's forecast to approach Bermuda on Thursday, likely still as a hurricane, before it finally accelerates out into the North Atlantic. Given that track, let's break down the official alerts that are now in effect for the next island nations directly in Melissa's path. The storm's path has put several nations on high alert. A hurricane warning, and remember, that means hurricane conditions are expected, is in effect for Jamaica, parts of eastern Cuba, and the southeastern and central Bahamas. You've also got tropical storm warnings up for Haiti and the Turks and Caicos. For everyone in these warning areas, preparations to protect life and property have to be rushed to completion immediately. Now, it is absolutely critical to understand the difference here. A warning, which is what Cuba and the Bahamas are under, means hurricane conditions are expected within 36 hours. It's time to shelter. A watch, on the other hand, means conditions are possible within 48 hours. That gives you a little more time, but preparations have to begin right away. So, let's break down those three primary life-threatening hazards that Melissa is bringing to these islands. You've got the wind, the rain, and the storm surge. For southeastern Cuba, this is a truly terrifying number. The National Hurricane Center is forecasting a potential storm surge of 8 to 12 feet above normal tide levels. And let's be clear, this is not just a high tide. This is a literal wall of seawater being pushed ashore by the hurricane, bringing large, destructive waves right along with it. And just like in Jamaica, the rainfall threat for Cuba is extreme. We're looking at 10 to 20 inches, with some isolated amounts getting up to 25 inches in the mountains. This is going to cause life-threatening flash flooding and numerous landslides. There's no way around it. As Melissa moves north, the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos are facing that same triple threat. Hurricane conditions are expected there on Wednesday. A life-threatening storm surge could push water 5 to 8 feet above normally dry ground. And on top of that, heavy rainfall is going to bring a significant threat of flash flooding. And finally, let's shift our focus to the last populated area in Melissa's direct path, the island of Bermuda. And this is a brand new development in the latest advisory. A hurricane watch has now been issued for Bermuda. This means hurricane conditions are possible there within 48 hours, likely starting on Thursday. For residents on the island, it is absolutely time to start your preparations now. So we'll end with this. This is an extremely dangerous hurricane. The key takeaway from this update is the immense and immediate threat of catastrophic flooding from both the rain and the storm surge. If you are in the path of this storm, please heed the advice of your local officials. Your preparations should be complete or rushed to completion now. Stay safe.